Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says that he does not think the city's $27 million settlement with George Floyd's family has had a negative effect on Derek Chauvin's trial. Mayor Frey had this to say today about the timing of the announcement.
We got very clear recommendations from our attorneys given their legal expertise, and I'll note that it was a unanimous decision coming from a council with many diverse standpoints and backgrounds.
Since news of the settlement, 2 of 7 jurors previously seated were removed. They told the court they felt the news would impact their ability to be impartial. Chauvin's attorneys have also asked the judge to delay or move the trial. We expect a decision on that tomorrow. WCCO's Mayerle is outside now with what happened in court today. And Jen, 12 jurors are now seated, and a bit of a dramatic end to the day today.
Yeah, it sure was, Amelia. News of that press conference from today with Mayor Frey and talk of the settlement was brought up by both sides. And the judge expressed what I would call extreme frustration by it, saying, put it in writing, this is something that he is ruling on tomorrow. That's how court ended. Court started today talking about a May 2019 incident between George Floyd and Minneapolis police. If a May 2019 encounter between George Floyd and Minneapolis police is allowed in court, the state wants jurors to hear from an expert about how that may have impacted Floyd's behavior during the fatal 2020 incident.
When Mr. Floyd is saying that he has a shortness of breath when they're trying to force him into the squad car, is that reflective of a heart problem, a lung problem, or does it relate to issues of panic or anxiety?
The judge said he's considering allowing limited parts of the 2019 case.
Don't you think that if I give that to you, I have to also allow the defense to do that?
The prosecution argued against that. The defense agreed.
I think the court is 100% correct. They either both come in or neither come in the context of the emotional state of Mr. Floyd.
The judge will rule on that Friday. In court Thursday, a nurse in her 50s who lives in a Minneapolis suburb was seated on the jury. She said she has not formed an opinion on who's responsible for Floyd's death.
Can you envision the very real possibility that your verdict may be not guilty?
Yes.
Can you likewise envision a scenario where your verdict would be guilty?
Yes.
The judge excused one potential juror because he says an acquaintance of hers is a central witness for the state.
It could affect the witness's testimony, in that they look out and they see an acquaintance who they know, and it would be, I'm sure, uncomfortable for them first to share it in front of a jury, but then a jury that contains someone they know.
A black grandmother in her 60s who grew up in South Minneapolis was also seated today, the 11th juror. The 12th, a white woman in her 40s. So the jury of 12 is set with 2 more alternates needed. Amelia?
All right. Thank you, Jen.